Hi, it's KCCK's Culture Crawl. I'm Dennis Green, and my guest today is Greg West from the Linn County Blues Society. Greg, nice to see you.
Nice to see you again, Dennis.
What a summer of music we have been having, and like we were talking before we rolled tape about all the different concerts that have been going on, but the big one is coming, and it's Bourbon and Blues.
Our big one's coming. We're blessed with several great musicians and artists in Eastern Iowa, and there's been some very good national ones coming along the way, too.
Well, we're going to pretend, Greg, that I have not been on the receiving end of information on this for the last 9 months, and so I'm going to ask you a lot of questions I know the answer to, but that's okay.
That's fine.
So this is the annual, so for decades, the LCBS has had a summer concert, kind of an all day-ish thing that had several bands through several different iterations. Most recent of which was held in the Czech Village, and now you're at McGrath Amphitheatre.
Yep, we have a new premier sponsor this year with Cedar Ridge, and they wanted to make it a little bigger, so we went to 4 bands this year, and we're going to be at McGrath and hopefully on to bigger and better things in the future.
Well, I know that Jeff Quint has always been a big blues fan. Blues has always been a part of the entertainment that he's put at Cedar Ridge. So, no, not really a big surprise, I don't think, that he says, let's do something big with the blues.
Yep, he's a big supporter of live music throughout the Midwest, and we're certainly happy to have him on board with us.
And so, the other thing that you've done with this is all 4 of the bands, and we'll talk about them individually, but all 4 of the bands are led by women.
Correct. It's I've seen it here and there, but also Nicole Burt told me the other day the Big Blues Bender is emphasizing women out in Las Vegas this year.
Oh, nice.
So that's a huge blues event out there, and we have 4 of the finest gracing our stage on August 20th.
Well, let's start with the let's go in order of performance, because I think that first up is Molly Nova first.
Molly Nova and the Hawk featuring Bryce Janey. They're up first. Molly Nova and the Hawk toured a fair amount here in the past several years. Recently moved back to the area, and we're opening up with those guys.
Yeah, they kind of they had gigged. I think they were living in Minnesota or someplace, and they did some gigs up there, but have kind of reconstituted that band. And boy, if only they could have found a good guitarist to play with them, Bryce Janey.
Yeah.
And the kind of their one of their first reconstituted gigs was at the Blues-a-Palooza back in January, and they just slayed it.
There was everyone there that night. It was a great event for KCCK, and I happened to be there, and the whole beautiful night of music in the Olympic Theater.
Yeah, so it's great to have Molly Nova and the Hawk with Bryce. So they're going to lead off. Who's next?
Next, we have Danielle Nicole out of Kansas City. Used to be with Trampled Underfoot with her brothers, and she is solo now, and her brother's also solo. So she's a fabulous bass player and nominated for Bass Player of the Year, I think, at the Blues Music Awards. She actually won that this year.
Oh, great. Okay. And so that's 2 of the 4.
That's the second act. The third act is Carolyn Wonderland out of Austin, Texas. Also recently voted Best Blues Band and Best Guitar Player in Austin, Texas.
Where there is perhaps just a little bit of competition where blues guitar is concerned?
A little bit more than Cedar Rapids, but I'll put our people up in town up to anybody. But there's a lot of talent in Austin, Texas, for sure.
And then at the kind of at the top of the card, boy, is that a great get for this festival and for Cedar Rapids.
I'm really excited to have Shemekia Copeland coming. She was nominated for a Grammy this year, didn't win it. But she was nominated for a Grammy and continually puts out great music, especially the last 10 years. She's just put out phenomenal albums that have been well received by her fans as well as critics.
And she's one who's really proved over the long haul, because she's been at this for a while. She was a superstar female blues musician when there weren't as many around. So
Yep, and it helps to have a good lineage as well.
Well, there is that. Yeah. She does. She yeah. As far as roots music goes, her roots are strong.
Yes,
definitely. And then the LCBS, as I said, has been putting on these kinds of concerts for a long time, and Linn County Blues Society is about promoting the blues, but you also take some of the profits from this and give them to community organizations.
Correct. We've been doing live music in the summers, like you said, for over 25 years now. Our local charities include KCCK that we contribute to.
Thank you for helping fund our Blues in the Schools program.
And thank you for having the Blues live on Friday and Saturday night.
Well, that's always a happy thing.
And then we also support the Eastern Iowa Arts Academy. Many young musicians go there that have an outlet, not only for music, but for arts and other artistic endeavors. And then we also support the Community Free Clinic here in Eastern Iowa. So those are our three major ones, but we're really proud of those philanthropic endeavors that we are able to do from this event.
So it's Bourbon and Blues. It's at the McGrath Amphitheatre on August 20th. And I suspect that if people get their tickets in advance, they get a little bit better of a deal.
Correct. In advance, before the day of the show, they're $35 in advance, and those are through Ticketmaster. And we encourage you to get them as soon as you can. They will be selling them at the gate, and we realize a lot of our patrons take care of that. But I think it'll be expedite getting the gate and everything else if we certainly can get them in advance, pull them up on our smart devices or print them off and roll with the fun times at Bourbon and Blues this year down at the amphitheater.
And there might even be some bourbon around that can be purchased, perhaps?
There's probably going to be some bourbon and other beverages to be partaken of, and hopefully we have a beautiful weather night and a wonderful night of music.
Well, it's always a great night when the LCBS sponsors the blues and brings these acts, both regional and national, to our community. Because while we were saying we've had a lot of great concerts on the season this year, LCBS is the one that really focuses on making sure the blues is a part of that. So thank you for helping keep the blues alive.
Well, thank you, Dennis, for your time, and thank you for the wonderful remarks. There's several of us that work hard at this, and we appreciate doing it just because we love it and we have passion for it.
So if people want
tickets,
is there a link from the LCBS website, or should they go to VenueWorks, or what's the easiest way to find those?
Ticketmaster through VenueWorks, LCBS, we do have a link. Cedar Ridge has a link, and also bourbonandblues.com. So,
well, and I think there might be a link from the KCCK concert calendar too.
And that any place. So any questions, just look up lcbs.org and there'll be a link there for you.
All right. Well, it's Bourbon and Blues at McGrath Amphitheatre for the very first time. Shemekia Copeland leading an all-star group of musicians to provide a great afternoon and evening of the blues. Greg, we'll cross our fingers for good weather and see you there.
All right. Thank you, Dennis.
Thanks, Greg. You can hear the Culture Crawl live on the radio many weekdays at 10:20, or download the podcast, watch or listen on your own schedule at kcck.org/culture, or however you get your podcasts. I'm Dennis Green, and I'll talk to you later.